the impact and the knowledge is truly life-changing, right? Yeah, so I wanted to give a shout out to Meta Club for giving me the opportunity to teach you guys about NFT and to answer any of your questions. Um, Shout out to Yellow Card. If you guys don't know, there's something huge happening. And if you don't have your wallet yet, I'm a bit sad for you. Yeah, so as you know, you're going to be needing wallets for your NFTs, for your crypto, for your Web3. So I do suggest highly, if you are within Kenya, for those who are outside, sign up on Yellow Card. And once you verify yourself and you have your account, you will receive 2 USDT straight into your wallet for your use. If you need the promo code, just use AMS 2023 and that will give you eligibility. Okay, so sign up on Yellow Card and don't forget to take notes on this class and to take notes on and to ask questions. There are no wrong questions, so feel free. Just one more minute. Okay, welcome guys. Thank you so much for showing up. Today we're going to be learning about NFTs, the creative and cultural industries and its impact. My name is Dada, and I am one of the pioneering and amongst the top selling NFT artists in Kenya. I'm a proud founding member at Meta Club and Kenya NFT Club, and I'm happy to represent the Kenya NFT community today as well. So I'm just going to go straight ahead because I know we're all here for the juice. We're all here to tap into the opportunity and to find ways to build and establish our own spaces. And I hope you can see my shared screen. Just send a thumbs up if you can see the screen. Awesome. Thank you so much. So today we're going to cover NFTs and we're going to deep dive into what an NFT is, why is it unique, the history of how NFTs came to be. We're going to talk about functionality and why people choose to use NFTs, how they're created, how they're stored, and their connection to blockchain, right? We're also going to talk about use cases. How can you onboard your ideas onto the blockchain applying NFT? We're going to talk about the utility of NFTs and some of the marketplaces that you can either create, buy, or sell NFTs. So first, I think it's really important, even before you understand what NFTs are, you need to understand what an asset is. And there's many different types of assets, right? There's fungible assets, there's non-fungible assets, there's physical assets, and there's digital assets. So this chart over here is a simple explanation of where you can place each and every type of asset that you can find. I think the most common asset that we've all experienced is fungible physical assets, which is cash and the thousands and 50 bobs you guys hold each and every day. You can consider that to be fungible. And what exactly is fungible? Fungible means that it's replaceable by another keyword identical item. So they are mutually interchangeable, right? Okay. I hope that is clear. And when it comes to fungible digital assets, we have the cryptocurrencies that we use. For those who have used and explored digital currencies, this is where they lie. Okay? So when we come to non-fungible physical assets, what are we talking about? We're talking about jewelry. We're talking about statement pieces. We're talking about bespoke art pieces that you hear are selling for millions and millions of dollars, even to thousands of dollars, to 500, thousands of Kenyan shillings. And all these things, they are not mutually interchangeable. You can't replace it with something else. And that's the meaning of non-fungible. It is irreplaceable, right? If you lost the original Van Gogh piece that you have been holding that has a lot of value, you will not be able to replace it with some random jewel. That is an asset that has been lost. So consider it to be in that manner. And finally, when we come to NFTs, they are digital, non-fungible assets, okay? Which means they're irreplaceable and they're not, and they cannot be replaced, okay? So an NFT is an asset that is irreplaceable. And there's many, and before I actually go there, I think a question that I usually get is what is the difference between cryptocurrency and NFT? So to be very clear, cryptocurrency is usually a token created on the blockchain and it represents a unit of value, just like Kenyan shillings, right? Represents a unit of value. And when it comes to NFTs, both of them are tokens, right? But NFTs are tokens on the blockchain that enables ownership of a unique digital asset, right? Ownership is very important. Ownership and the word unique are very important to the world of NFTs. Okay? So NFTs and these tokens, there's many different types of tokens that you'll find on the blockchain. So that means there's many different NFTs and use the right token for what you want to represent, right? So one of the most common tokens that you will find is the ERC20, which are the crypto tokens that we use. And the common features is that they are interchangeable with another token, right? You can swap your ETH into Bitcoin and you can swap your Bitcoin into USDT and so on and so forth, and you get the same amount in the other token. So it's mutually interchangeable. These tokens, the fungible tokens, can also be used with other products and services. So you will find that you can buy an ERC720 token using an ERC20. So another thing is that this specifically represents an asset, a right, ownership, access, or cryptocurrency. So it can be many things depending on what you want to do with the token. Okay? This is also one of the most common token that you will find when it comes to non-fungible tokens specifically. And on many platforms, this is what you'll find people are selling, which is unique and one of one. A lot of these other tokens you'll come to understand once you have explored and advanced within the platforms that are available on the blockchain. And you'll find that different platforms have different use cases and different applications for these NFTs. So there are some that allows physical property to be rented out, and some allow people to rent out rights to a specific asset. And some of them even allow other tokens to own a variety of NFT powered digital assets through independent wallets. This is a whole lot of jargon. But what you need to know is that NFTs, non fungible tokens, come in many forms. Okay. So, what are NFTs and why really do they exist? We've already spoken about the meaning and the base of the whole acronym, which is NFT. And this is because it's unique. And the second part is that it's a non interchangeable unit of data stored on a digital ledger. In the most common terms that I've heard people explain what NFTs are, in the use cases of ownership and authenticity, proving authenticity, people refer to it almost as a receipt, right? You buy something, you get a receipt, and it proves that you own something, right? That's in the Web 2 world, in the common world that we live in right now. Sometimes if the assets that you have is not what was meant to be and you couldn't tell before and you don't have the receipt, you can't give it back. So, and sometimes people can claim that what you bought is theirs. And how do you prove that something is yours? Through the receipt. So people usually relate NFTs to receipts, that they prove that you are the owner of a specific asset, whether physical, whether digital, whether fungible, whether non-fungible. Okay? So, and this unit is stored on the blockchain. So I refer to the blockchain as a digital ledger, right? And for a more elaborated explanation, a blockchain is a distributed database that is shared among the computer network. As a database, a blockchain stores information electronically in a digital format. Right, so we've already tackled what an NFT is. We've tackled where it is stored. We've tackled what makes it unique or what kind of NFTs you can find on the blockchain. And so moving on is NFTs possess unique identification codes and additional metadata that, sorry? Okay, cool. Just be sure to mute your mic. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat. Thank you. Yes. So these tokens, these NFTs can be bought, they can be sold, they can be traded. By traded, I mean they can be swapped. And their value is determined by market demand and individual preferences. What does that mean? It means that the NFT space is really dynamic and it grows rapidly. And what is trending now, what is in demand now, will not necessarily mean that it will be in demand next month or next week even. So a lot of what you see within the NFT market shifts very rapidly, and it can be to the niche or it can be by the industry, it can be up to real life solutions, whereby we see when there's wars, people kind of start fundraising using or selling NFTs. So this can be determined by market demand and individual preferences, which means what do I want to sell? Why do I want to sell this? What will I get in return? And what will, the client get through them buying my NFT. So those are such individual preferences or market demand. We've already spoken about what an NFT can be, but these are still just some ideas of how you can use NFTs. So collectibles, art collectibles, music collectibles, comic collectibles, magazines, one of one art. Sorry, that's supposed to be one of one. You can use NFTs to sell your event tickets and attendance receipts. You can give out POAPs. They are called POAP, POAPs, proof of attendance. So a lot of people nowadays sell their music as NFTs, and a lot of people even sell separately from their music videos as NFT. So you can find gaming NFTs, you can find virtual items, you can also find real world assets, which is land, which are homes, cars, representations of clothes and day-to-day items. Other things that can be tokenized or NFTized is identity, tokenized certificates to prove who you are or to prove that you own a specific thing. We have domain names, which are the .eth things that you see a lot of us have. You see Dada Boipleo.eth, you'll see MetaClub.eth, you'll see all these people using domain names, and all those can be NFTs. So down to the basics, I know the main question is that I can screenshot this image and who cares if you own the main thing? Unfortunately, in the real life world, it doesn't work like that. And you'll find that you do need to prove that you own things, especially if they are things of value. And we've already determined that the value of an NFT is proven by market demand and individual preferences. So I can create the value, and you guys can create the value at the same time. So one of the ways that I've seen people creating values for their NFT is through scarcity, whereby whatever they're offering, whether it's art, whether it's a program, please mute your mic, thank you. Whether it's a program, whether it's a t-shirt, whether it's merchandise. Scarcity has been one of the things that have, sorry, I can hear feedback. So yeah, scarcity is one of the ways that you can not only add value of your NFT. Sorry, B8, could you please mute your mic? Thank you. Um, so yeah, having limited editions of important things or important articles is one way to ensure that people are kind of FOMOed into investing into your project or into whatever you're offering, into your art. And you see this especially with people who have already built a repertoire within their community. Like I've been selling one of one art since 2020, and because I already have a community base, because I have people already interested in my art, you already know that there's demand for what you're doing. And you can create even more demand by reducing the output of the work that by reducing the work that you output, right? So instead of releasing a one of one every 2 months or every 1 month, you release a one of one every 6 months. And then instead of not releasing art at all, you can release 10 limited editions at once that you know will be purchased because people have demand for your work, right? So for that to actually work, you need to have been consistent with creating your community. You need to already identify your collectors and so on and so forth. Another thing that brings value to NFTs and tokens itself is the ease of transferability, right? You can sell these things at any given time, given that it has demand. Sometimes you can buy NFTs that lose value. Sometimes you can buy NFTs that gain value. It's all in the market demand and the individual preferences. So being able to sell these things at any time and trade these things at any time and also be at any location in the world and be able to receive the privileges that come with owning an asset. This is why people are drawn to buying NFTs. And this is why people are extremely interested in tying physical assets to digital assets, right? We're moving into a more efficient space, a more technological space, a space where we want things as easy as possible. So my usually my analogy is if you can think of a giant sculpture that you want to buy in China, or you have machinery in China that you want to buy, and you're in Kenya, you can imagine about the protocol that it takes to get that machinery here. And I'm not saying that you wouldn't need it if you bought it in NFT, but it depends on the use case of what you want to do, right? So depending if you want to buy a piece of art that you want to be preserved in a museum, you can buy it and you don't have to worry about the transferability process of shipping an art piece from one country to the other. You can just hold it in your wallet in the form of an NFT or in the form of a token. So, and even taxes. So you can, in Kenya, there are a couple of taxes that are about to be introduced, digital asset taxes. So before that, it was pretty simple, but now not so much. aside from that, there is a lot of power in digital networks and the possibilities of spreading your work all around borderless communities. What does that mean? It means that you get to access communities beyond your physical reach, right? Um, of course, with social media, it has always been like that. The difference is actually monetizing what you're doing through borderless communities. A lot of people have millions of followers on Instagram. They still don't sell their art. And I think that's one of the differences that NFTs has brought. It's efficient in proving that you're the true owner of a specific asset. If you are the creator of this piece, it proves that you're the creator of that piece, and it reduces a lot of uncertainty. And this is good because validating information in this technological age is really important for all creatives, I believe, because we've had instances where people's ideas have been stolen, people's art has been stolen. So being able to prove transparently that you're the owner of something, of some asset, whether non-fungible, fungible, digital, physical, is important. And the last part is because it is immutable. The blockchain is immutable, which means it cannot be changed. It is very difficult to change. So no one can tamper with your receipt. No one can tamper with your transaction. Like it's that simple. So the next page is on how these NFTs work. And usually I tell people that minting is publishing, right? NFTs are generated through a process referred to as minting. And you can call this publishing, you can call this posting. There's many ways you can refer to this. And this basically involves recording the relevant information of the NFT onto the blockchain. Think about how you go onto Twitter and you're able to post something, right? You're able to tap onto a button and you're able to type whatever you want to express. You're able to add any image that you want to express and you send it and it's out there in the World Wide Web, right? So it's the same case for NFTs, except it is on the blockchain. And smart contracts, which I believe that you have learned before, are often used during the minting process to assign ownership and manage the transferability of the NFTs. Just as mentioned, a smart contract is as simple as it insinuates. It is self-verifying, which means it is automated, right? And a smart contract is an agreement. So it is an automated agreement that is self-verifying. Okay? So, right. During minting or during publishing, each token is assigned a unique identifier that is directly linked to a specific blockchain address. Every token has an owner, and this ownership information indicating the address where the token is held. Okay, so every token that has been created has an owner, and this ownership information indicating the address where the token is held is publicly accessible. It's transparent to all. You can access it, I can access it, and that's one of the differences between a lot of the businesses that you see that are built on the blockchain, a lot of the communities that apply the basics of the blockchain are transparent. And why do you need transparency? Because it establishes trust, okay? If I can see something for what it is and you can see something for what it is, isn't it simple? Isn't it trustable? So transparency is one of the ways that you engage trust within a community, just by people knowing and understanding and seeing that what you say is true is true. It makes it easier for people to not only invest, but to also support, right? So even if multiple NFTs representing the same items are minted, in this case, you can think of tickets, you can think of magazines, you can think of limited editions. Each token, at the end of the day, will possess a distinct identifier that sets it apart from the others, meaning each token is unique, whether they are the same media or not. So here we're gonna go down the memory lane of NFTs, and I'm just wondering if there's any questions so far. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys, for keeping your mics muted. A lot of people have just heard about NFTs, maybe the last week, maybe the last month. A lot of people only heard about NFTs around 2020, which was people like me. But before then, I didn't know, like in 2020, I didn't know NFTs existed way back till 2014. So the first ever NFT called Quantum was minted on the Namecoin blockchain. This was in 2014. And this creation set stage for the development and popularity of NFTs to be built on other blockchains. And the most notable one for many creatives is Ethereum, right? A lot of the high selling or top selling NFTs are sold in Ether, right? So Quantum holds a special place in history as the pioneer NFT on the Namecoin blockchain. And I believe you've gone through the blockchain and you know that there can be different blockchains. And all these blockchains have different values and they offer different utilities, right? So, and on the blockchains, you can find different platforms. So, Namecoin is a blockchain, and Quantum was the first ever NFT on the Namecoin blockchain in 2014. So, now that the first NFT was first minted on Namecoin blockchain, other blockchains started to see this unique opportunity, and it grew, and people wanted to explore it. And in 2017, we see the Ethereum blockchain introducing the ERC 721 standard, which is a unique one-of-one NFT standard. And this enables the creation of unique non-fungible tokens on the Ethereum network. So from 2017 to 2020, people are still exploring what NFTs look like, where NFTs should be minted, and what these platforms will look like. So around 2020, people have already caught on to the popularity, people have caught on to the buzz, and NFTs are practically exploding internationally, right? And this is where you see people are selling NFTs for hundreds and thousands of dollars. And this is where also it caught my attention. I was like, this is where the money is. So I wanted to understand what this opportunity is. And that's how I joined the NFT space. So, apologies. So from 2020 until now, you see different use cases of NFTs, and you see different communities arise from just NFTs. You see the Kenya NFT Club, you see the Africa NFT Club, you see different DAOs arise using NFTs as their governance tokens, as their membership tokens, and how people look at NFTs has changed drastically from the first NFT. And I think that's the most important thing to know, that NFTs will look very different at different points of time. And it's important to know that NFTs is not just art, just because, it got mainstream attention through art doesn't mean that NFTs is just art. So a lot of things can be NFTs, and you understand that now. So moving forward, we're looking at ways that you can use these NFTs, and the first one is event ticketing. And I don't know how many of you guys are fans of the Kings of Leon, and their last album was offered as an NFT bundle, which also includes an NFT ticket to a future concert. That's what we call utility. Okay. So utility is an added advantage to owning a specific asset, right? And people are always looking to gain more. So one way to sell more is having utility that not only resonate with the community you're selling to, but also resonate with the times, right? I can't give out the utility. I can't, it's difficult to sell a PFP right now when PFPs were booming 2 years ago or even 3 years ago, right? So I'm not saying you don't sell them, but I'm saying it's difficult. So that can be a utility. So having an NFT bundle, which includes free future concert tickets. You buy, you buy Beyonce's album, like a music album, and it comes with a ticket to the Renaissance tour. That is a utility, and those are two use cases at once. Okay. A lot of people are using NFTs to proof and authenticate their supply chains. And you'll see this with a lot of luxury brands and a lot of bespoke communities. So, in specific, there's a French winemaker that started using NFTs to track and verify the authenticity of their premium wines. And we've already talked about the key pillars of what NFTs embody: ownership, we've talked about transparency, we've talked about trust, and we've talked about proof, right, of authenticity. So, knowing these things and knowing how many dupes you can get out there of a luxury brand, you can get so many different knockoffs of Adidas, right? You can get many different knockoffs of Balenciagas. So, how do you ensure that or authenticate that this is the real thing? People can use NFTs to track their supply chains or to track everything that they've created, as we've already spoken about, that each is identified with a unique set of codes, right? So it doesn't only apply to wine, of course. You can have a luxury line of makeup. You can have a luxury handbag line. You can have luxury computers, Tesla cars. Think of it all. You can do that, and you can use NFTs to help with your supply chain. Music is another space that is extremely booming in the application of NFTs, and we have a Web3 startup called Another Block that dropped NFTs for a popular song by Rihanna. And basically, they allow holders to receive partial streaming royalties. And this is important. This is so important. Um, a major reason why even artists use NFTs is because of the royalty, or what I like to call a reward system, right? So because they know who the owner is, and you can easily trace this back, and through smart contracts you can, within the code of the smart contracts, you can agree to receive a specific amount of the tokens every single time that it's resold. So let's say I have an NFT piece, I have an art piece that I want to sell, and my friend Sherry buys it for 5 ETH, however much that is in dollars right now or in Kenyan shillings. She buys it and she ends up selling it to Crypto Chick for 10 ETH. Within the code of my smart contract, I have agreed, and we have all agreed, that I will be getting 10% of each sale, each royalty. And that doesn't only stop at me. It is the most rewarding system because even the collectors ahead of you and the collector ahead of your next collector will be able to reap the benefits of basically empowering the first main collector, right? So it's like a win-win situation. You buy my NFT, you sell it to someone else at a higher price, and we both end up gaining at the end of the day. So this is what I like to call some sort of passive income. And it's really important because this is how you also establish good collectors for your NFTs, right? You establish people who will invest time in what you're doing. They will invest also money. And you get to see the growth more exponentially when people are fully invested in supporting you. aside from a one-off sale. So I'm sorry, I think there is a question from Fadil. I'm just going to answer it before I move forward. And how can they apply in agriculture? I think there's many ways that NFTs can apply in agriculture. One of the first ways I think I could say that NFTs could help in improving liquidity. And usually, traditional investments are not that liquid and they're challenging to sell or diversify quickly, such as selling land or like buying land. And it can take a lot of time. So I feel like NFTs can also provide a solution through fractionalizing and fractional ownership, whereby many people can come around to buy or identify land opportunities and invest in them together, and even be able to verify who owns which title deeds or which spaces or which buildings. I think, let me just think. I think even in terms of community and but that's kind of like just ownership. So the fractional part, I think you can also, if we come together and buy land, maybe 5 people, I think having an NFT token, not only just representing the land, but also representing the community, would be able to give access to specifically who needs the access. And another way that you can apply it in agriculture is using NFTs to fundraise, or using NFTs to, or you can access financing through NFTs. So a case I've seen is a lot of people launching collections, or not just art collections, but collections of what you want. You can sell maybe seeds, or maybe if you're focused on trees, you can say, if you buy one NFT, we plant 10 trees. Or if you buy this NFT, it comes with maybe like a segment in a community-owned piece of land, and you can be able to plant whatever you want in that land as long as you own this NFT. So there's many ways that you can apply. I think off the top of my head, that would be it. And aside from that, there should also be a lot of startups finding solutions specifically for each industry. So you'll find people launching startups within the agricultural industry to kind of cater to solutions that you guys understand. So people who develop solutions, and people who will help with tracking your supply, or even automated farming systems. So I think that is my two cents on that. And there's definitely more use cases. And if anyone can assist, please feel free to comment on the messages side. So another use case is virtual real estate. We've spoken about that even in the case of owning land. And in platforms like Decentraland, users can purchase virtual land piece. And a virtual plot of land in Decentraland Metaverse was sold for over $900,000. And this highlights the demand for digital real estate. And people do a lot of things on these Decentraland spaces. People host concerts, people host learning forums, people host meetings. So there's many applications that you can use these virtual real estates. People even host exhibitions, right? I think that's one of the most common things that we've seen. So in other cases, you see fashion and you see gaming, right? These these virtual fashion items can be owned, traded, and displayed in virtual worlds. People have fashion shows in these virtual worlds, right? And you're also allowed to buy these digital items or digital NFTs to dress or represent your digital representation. So there's many ways that you can use NFTs. And when it comes to why brands are using NFTs and why you in specific may want to use NFTs is to connect the physical to the virtual. We've already gone through that. And often people use it to gate content or to gate products or to gate experiences. If you buy a Meta Club NFT, you can attend all metaverse summits that we host for the next 10 years or for the next 5 years. For as long as there's a summit, you can attend as long as you own a Meta Club NFT. So that is gating experiences, right? And it doesn't mean that other people won't be able to access it. It's just like an option. And people can even gate Discord, right? You have to verify that you own a Meta Club NFT to access the Meta Club Discord, okay? So you'll find a lot of people are using it to kind of control access within their communities. And this is also a decision within the communities, right? People want to feel exclusive. People want the novelty of belonging somewhere. So people use NFTs in such a case. People use NFTs to monetize their brand intellectual property. People use NFTs for loyalty, royalties, and community engagement, which is in the case that we've just talked about. Sherry buying my art piece, and because she wants to get more of she wants to get more out of what she's invested, she pushes forward to to supporting my vision and to selling my vision to someone else. And not only does she grow high investment, but I also grow my investment. So this, at the end of the day, builds. Mute your mic. Thank you. This builds and augments communities in a different way. Whereas we've had people having one off communities whereby people do something one off instead of consistently, and it has been a difficult way to engage communities because we all want to feel like we're part of the process, we're part of the decision making part. And so NFTs kind of assist in that, and it assists in governance and delegation of power or access. So this is still in the use cases. This is one of the NFTs that I got to learn about when I was getting into the NFT industry. And this is a piece by Beeple. If you this is even like half of the piece. And it contains a collage of 5,000 pieces that he's done on 5,000 days. And guys, this is insane. So as you can see, an NFT can really be anything. And a lot of people see value in effort and in quality. So make sure that what you're producing as NFT has a level of quality to it. And not everything has to be tokenized, right? Tokenize important stuff first and then keep on experimenting on different blockchains. If you're experimenting on ICP, experiment on ICP. And if you're experimenting on Ethereum, experiment on Ethereum blockchain and use different blockchains for different NFT purposes, right? So we've spoken about majorly everything that can that comprises or builds up the NFTs, right? And now it's time to talk about the real stuff, which is one, the criticisms of NFTs and what you should look out for, the pitfalls of NFTs. Yes, Brighton, I'll be able to share the notes with you guys, the whole deck. So don't worry about that. So we've had NFTs are dead, NFTs are a bubble, NFTs can be screenshotted. A lot of speculation. So due to media hype and even due to popularity, some NFT collectibles have experienced significant value decrease and increase, leading to concerns about their long-term sustainability. Something that is popping today and people pump and pump and pump tokens into it, and tomorrow it's just dead. Yeah, that happens a lot in the NFT space. And I think that's one of because people don't like to lose money, right? No one likes to lose money. I think that's the reason why people think NFTs are a scam. And being educated, number one, and doing your research, number two, concerning the NFT that you want to buy and who you want to buy it from, or even concerning yourself entering the NFT space and what you want to sell, is very important and will help you stand out from criticism and from the bubble, because there are a lot of people who are not making money from NFTs. And that's the harsh reality. It's not easy. You have to do a lot of marketing, you have to do a lot of branding, you have to do a lot of nurturing and cultivating, you have to do a lot of staying ahead of the trend. So I'm going to give you a criticism and I'm going to give you a potential solution, right? Number two is hacking, or again, losing your money. As with the potential hacking of cryptocurrencies, there's also a risk of NFTs being compromised if not securely stored in a digital wallet. And you guys already know what a digital wallet. Yellow Card, you can open. Sorry, MetaMask is a digital wallet. Binance is a digital wallet, and you can open these digital wallets to hold your NFTs, to sell your NFTs, to sell your crypto, and sometimes, just like in the normal world where you can be robbed of your your cash or your M-Pesa or your bank money, that can happen also on the blockchain. So the most common way that you see is something called phishing, where there is a fake kind of website or like a fake site that looks exactly identical to the platform that you're using. And the minute that you press something that is malicious, it kind of it takes away all your NFTs and all your crypto altogether, and you will not be able to access NFTs that you've sold before. And with that, you will not be able to access your royalties. And that is extremely devastating. So you need to be very, very cautious of the links that you are accessing. You need to be very cautious of the cryptocurrencies that you find in your wallet, because these hackers are smart nowadays. Like, they send you things to your wallet, you want to sell it, and when you sell it, it's a contract that erases or like withdraws everything from your account. So you need to be very careful. I also suggest you get a cold wallet, a Ledger, or a Trezor wallet. And I'm not saying that those can't be hacked, but it just increases your chances of being safe. Okay. Um, if the blockchain on which an NFT resides fails or becomes obsolete, the NFT may become unverifiable. And because blockchains can be created by anyone and everyone, that happens more often than we'd like to take account for. And that's something that we can't evade. It's just something that you can kind of move to the side by having research, or like by knowing exactly what you're signing up for. And by this, I mean that nothing is 100%. All these platforms can be alive today and dead tomorrow. But it's better for you to be on a platform that has hundreds of thousands of users, whereby they are held accountable, and even to be part of platforms that are led by DAOs and transparent communities, because it will help in the communities taking accountability if something was to reside or even become obsolete in time. So I think you can't run away, or you can't fully know what is going to fail in terms of these long-term projects. But I think being prepared for these states helps you a lot as a creative and as a builder, because one, you learn from the mistakes of others, and two, you learn how to manage your expectations and your investments and your projects as well. So those are just some of the criticisms. Um, we've spoken about so many benefits. I'm not even going to go through that again. And now to talk about the future of NFTs. How do we wrap all this up for the future? How do you prepare yourself for the future? The application, currently NFTs are primarily used for selling digital art, music, and collectibles. But however, in the future, I personally and many people anticipate that NFTs will be able to tokenize real world assets and bring transparency and irrefutable ownership to various domains and various entities. So many people will be looking to tokenize their assets for proof. And I always kind of relate this to when people started learning about MP3, when people started learning about MP4, and people were saying MP4 is not real. And now MP4, we use it every single day, and not everyone uses it, but a huge capacity and a huge number of the world uses MP4, and it's similar to the internet. A lot of people don't believe in it until like it's 10 years developed. So we're still very, very early, and you can build and carve out the space that you want to build. And you can partner up with the people that have the same vision with you. And that makes the process easier, and that makes it makes it efficient in growing a specific ecosystem within a community. So it's important to collaborate, and it's important to identify real world solutions, because people will find value in what they've experienced before, right? And that's why Africa has a lot of DeFi applications, right? They're all looking for ways to save money in stable coins, to save money in USD, to transfer money or to access money. So real world use cases and solutions are one way to stay ahead of the curve when you want to build something using NFTs, or even just to build something within the Web3 ecosystem or on the blockchain. So NFTs have the potential to represent ownership of IP rights, real estate through title deeds, and even business ownership. People register their businesses, and this is what you use even to access banking. And you'll see a lot of these applications redefine how we work and how we identify with work. So the opportunity, as I wrap up, sorry guys for taking so much time, but you can see NFTs as an investment, right? Whereby you put your money into a token and you wait for it to gain value, right? Or you buy a PFP and you're able to sell it at a markup price, right? So you get a return in your investment. And that is also seen or called NFT flipping, whereby you buy NFTs and you sell it at a higher price, and you're able um, to like make a living out of it. There are people who are NFT flippers on the daily. Like they wait for a project to drop, they buy into it immediately. These projects sell out in seconds, or these one of one sell out in seconds. And that makes it extremely valuable, because we've talked about scarcity, right? So there's guys who do NFT flipping. You can use NFT to represent power within your community, and people who can apply this power, like voting and community membership. I have the Meta token. I belong in the Meta club, right? Um, you can explore NFTs on different blockchains. You can sell, buy NFTs on different blockchains and platforms. And NFTs offer a space for experimentation, right? You don't have to produce the same one thing over and over. And if one NFT project misses, go for the next one. And if the next one misses, go for the next one. Don't stop experimenting on the capabilities of the blockchain and the capabilities of these tokens. You can access Web3 creative grants. We've seen many NFT artists exhibiting and exploring all around the world, selling their NFT art to borderless communities, even entering auction houses that would rather not be in their reach if they weren't into NFTs. So this new opportunity means that we are highlighting a newer creative economy whereby if you are the first, then you access the opportunities first, right? And I'm not saying opportunities will end, but there is a novelty in being a pioneer. So I promise you it's worth all the hype. So a lot of these other things are like airdrops where you use NFTs to reward your collectors or your community members. So, for an instance, Meta Club can airdrop all of us in the future, anyone who was able to participate in this metaverse workshop, maybe the DAO tokens, or maybe a one of one Meta Club NFT. So there's new technologies to be implemented, and by that it means there's new communities that need to be developed, new jobs, new careers. There's people who will be curating NFTs. There's people who will be teaching about NFTs. There's people who will help you market your NFTs. So don't see it as just an asset. See beyond the circle of assets, right? These assets need to be put into the world. These assets need to be branded. These assets, have value. So find the value and you will not lack the rewards. This is a page on the marketplace, on the marketplaces that are available. And I think this is one of the last few pages. And because time is up, I don't know how much more I can take on. I think I can leave this for part two. Tomorrow, sorry, please mute your mic. Thank you so much. So you will all get this deck and you'll be able to look at these marketplaces and you'll be able to see what marketplaces sell what types of NFTs. And these three are just the skim of the milk. As I've said, depending on which blockchain you're using, you'll get different platforms, and each of these platforms and applications kind of like develop different use cases for NFTs. So choose wisely and, explore more. So tomorrow you'll learn a lot about NFT communities. You'll learn about how NFTs look like in Africa. Um, you'll also learn about marketing. And I think Ronnie will also be able to take you through a one-on-one minting session on NFTs through screenshots. So thank you so much, guys, for being a part of this. This class is bigger than I expected, and I'm so glad everyone stuck around. I'm thankful for your questions and for your attention. Let me know if you have any questions within the chats, or if I've missed anything. I'll be available on Discord and you can just hit me up and we can chat about it. And if you need directions on how to launch your brands or ideas onto using NFTs or onto the blockchain, I'm here to support you. Thank you so much and have a good evening. I'm going to pass it on to Meta001 just in case there's anything to add on or, yeah, to close down the session.